Waka and I are Christians. Okay, we're devoted Christians. We love Jesus. We have a intimate relationship with Christ, and we follow him. We love him. We do our best to do the things that he commanded us to do. However, a lot of people in our community, in our world of Christian, in our Christian world, are getting too sensitive, and I get it. But we need to back off a little bit because they get offended when I think it's episode 3 when Loki said that he's into man and woman, right? And they're like, oh, Disney Plus is making narrative or nod to LGBTQ. I'm like, yo, back up, hold up. I wonder if we can, I don't know.
What?
I feel like this should be like positioned right here. You know what I mean? But now we have a lot of space in here. But it is what it is. Okay. It works. Welcome in. Thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show. I'm CB.
I'm Waka.
Yeah. And this is TT Bell.
Yeah, TT Bell. We're trying to figure her name out, and then
No, that's gonna be her name.
Okay,
TT Bell.
TT Bell. Today it's her. How do you call this? Her
pilot episode.
Yep.
Yeah. It's probably not gonna be regular, but yeah, this is TT Bell. If you're Filipino, you exactly know what we mean, and yes, we mean it that way. This is Afterflicks. We are really late for this episode. This is episode 5.
I think it's 5. I believe 6.
Is it?
I believe so.
Are you sure?
Because I thought we were watching episode 5.
This is that we were just watching episode 5.
Yeah, this is episode 5. I'm sorry.
So we're so late because by now, episode 6 they just played it, but we're gonna do a review for that one too. So episode 5 of Disney Plus series Loki, and it's been it's really good. So we did a little quick rewatch before we did this podcast because we watched this 2 or 3 days, no, a week ago.
Yeah, it was a week ago.
Yeah, it was
more
a
than
week
a week
ago.
ago.
Probably no. Is it?
Because we watched this on the night it came out.
Oh, you're right. So it's over a week ago. So we kind of vaguely remember what's going on. I have, we have an idea, and then when we saw it again just now, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, that scene is there. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So we both have different memories about this show. So I thought it was draggy, but I remember it not being draggy.
Okay, let's just be real. I'm terrible with my memory, so let's just leave it at that.
I figured that. So what do you think about this episode?
I think
episode 5
was pretty interesting. We finally find not really a villain, but now there's someone that we can call, hey, there's a bad guy now. There's a bad guy right there. But it's not really the bad guy. It's the guard dog, basically, as we learned.
Alioth.
Yeah. And I did like the variety of Lokis that we saw. It still makes me think. I still think it's funny to find these many Lokis in these different worlds. I just realized that wait, never mind. Anyway, so I think those guys are funny. I really still think the old man with his funny light costume is funny looking.
Yeah, that was classic Loki.
I figured that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what Loki looks like in the comic books, which we saw it in the. Oh, I don't think you watch Rockstar after 4th episode.
I don't think I've seen any of the past.
Yeah, so
two.
when they did the because I haven't seen the 5th one and the 6th one. So when they did the 4th one, they explained that the old Loki is based off the comic books, his costume, which WandaVision did that, remember?
Yes.
During the
Halloween.
Halloween.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like kind of a nod that they're doing the same kind of type of costume. with their characters.
No matter who or what kind of Loki it is, it's still Loki.
It is still Loki.
They came into the one room. You would expect the guy with the hammer, Mjolnir, Mjolnir,
which was never explained what
exactly
that was.
And
because it looked like a man-made weapon,
right?
Well, I guess most of the weapons are man-made, but you know what I mean. Unless you're Maui, then you have a weapon from the gods. But
most of the weapons that were made were from that dead star.
Yeah, but it's still man-made. That's what I mean.
I guess you're right.
So this weapon was never explained if it's a Mjolnir. I think it's just the weapon.
Because you expect, it's
siren?
coming out from there.
Oh,
so if you guys hear it in the back, apologize. So it's funny that we all believe that those who carry the Mjolnir is supposed to be the whoever is what
worthy.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's a Mjolnir though.
I think so,
it's I think it's just a Loki weapon. Because we noticed that most of the Lokis that we've seen, they have their own specific weapons.
Yeah, they do. But going back to why I thought of that is that they were all from different timelines or different universe.
Yeah.
But when they come together, they're all still the same. The president Loki, actually the alligator Loki is the one that's indifferent from everyone.
Yeah.
It's only because we can't really tell or feel his emotions. But the reason why I say they're all the same no matter what, because they still deceive each other. They still lie one another. One deceived the other while being deceived by the other.
Yeah, on that one scene.
So no matter what Loki it is, it's still the same.
Right. So this episode was really good. The showing where when they prune them, where they're gonna go, and it was explained that it was towards the end of because the timekeepers they're still trying the timekeepers, because we know that on the previous episode 4, that the timekeepers weren't real, and Ravonna, apparently her name is Ravonna.
I've been naming her wrong.
Yeah.
Ravina. I thought they came from Ravina.
It's Ravonna.
Really?
Ravonna.
Oh, I'm sorry to all of the fans out there that's listening. I apologize. Okay,
Yeah.
Ravonna.
So Ravonna mentioned that the timekeepers are still trying to figure out the end of the world, or the continuation of the existence of the future. That's why that part is a void.
Oh.
So whatever they do in there, it's not gonna matter, because that's like the ending of the ending. You know what I mean?
So there's no future.
There's no future after that. So that's where they throw them.
I remember now why I said I realized. All this time about the whole pruning process from the beginning, I either thought 2 reasons, and of course they were totally misunderstood. 1, they get erased back into their timeline from wherever they were.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, they just completely disappear. But this, I find it very brutal. You prune them to get thrown into the trash. I mean, these are living beings. I think that's really messed up.
Yeah.
Like, they just deem you, you're a variant and you're not supposed to exist. I'm sorry that you're a girl, but you're supposed to be a boy. Goodbye. Pah.
Yeah. Let me finish my thought real quick.
Well, I thought you stopped because you saw my hand go up.
No, because I was trying to explain it, and then...
Okay, then go for it.
Yeah.
My bad.
So with this episode, with the pruning, we found out where they're gonna go and what's gonna happen with them.
Mm-hmm.
We met the rest of the Lokis, and this is not just the Loki that exists in here.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I appreciate the most is Mobius is not dead. And I think a lot of people who've seen this series agree with me that we're just thankful he's not dead. You know what I mean? I feel like people are more heartbroken that Mobius got pruned than Loki got pruned, because it's like people are more shocked and more sad that Mobius got pruned.
Yeah, there should have been a fine print at the bottom of Loki's episode. It's like Loki, but in the fine print says it's really about Mobius,
right? So, and then the with the Ravonna and what's going on with her. We finally saw what happened to A50 or B15.
I can't remember.
I think it is B15. Yeah, B15. Hunter B-15 and what happened to her. She was just, she wasn't reprogrammed yet. And this makes sense now, I guess, on why people. Okay, so if they are legitimate timekeepers, they would have just pruned the variants right away. You know what I mean? Like, why the whole sentencing first? So if they're trying to save the whole sacred timeline, why not, as soon as you see them and they're variants, why not prune them? You know what I mean? That means there's a message behind it. There's a reason behind it, and that's to build this empire on what's going on. Because apparently they're all variants, right?
Yeah,
all of the people that work in there. Yeah, all of the people that are working there are variants.
Correction, because apparently you caught on some of the scenes where you saw a scroll, or what do you call it?
A scroll, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a scroll. Well, the scroll on the first episode. Yeah, it was the first episode. He wasn't an employee. He was just another variant.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I assume that all the ones working at TVA are. I mean, we know that they're variant.
Yeah.
But they're all human.
Well, for the most part, the ones that we have seen.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I said, oh, maybe not. It's just because I saw the scroll.
Yeah. Okay, so in this episode, a lot of things that happened. They went to the void, which is like what we explained and what the TV show explained. It's the end of the timeline, the current timeline, and they don't know what's going on in there. The timekeepers are still trying to figure out what's gonna happen after that. And this sacred timeline, this void, is reigned by the kid Loki. So, so Loki recognized the kid Loki because that is the legitimate kid version of Loki. Like that Loki that we have right now, his if you look at his childhood pictures, it will be that kid. You know what I mean? So it's not a different kind of Loki. It's the same Loki with the child version.
Younger, okay.
Yeah. So, and same thing with the older Loki. If he didn't die in the end game,
he would have been,
which happened in his own timeline. That's what it would look like.
That's how he would look like.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that time doesn't change for them there, because they remain old. The other one remain young.
In the void.
Yeah, I mean, how long ago were they?
Yeah, because there's no distant future. Like I said, the timekeepers are still trying to figure out what will be the future. So they're stuck there in that void. You know what I mean? So in an idea, that's like the time stops. So tomorrow, let's say today is June 22nd. If I sleep today, tomorrow it's still June 22nd.
Oh, that makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So he went there. He saw the other Lokis, and we found out that these are the different versions of Loki after he got pruned. You have the older Loki, the younger Loki, the alligator, and then should we call him the black Loki? I would assume he will be like the black version of Loki.
I guess it's very plain that he's black there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not gonna be his own distinction. I don't think he will be distinctive. I mean, distinct as
based on other fans on comic books, he's supposed to be the Thor Loki.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll look into it later, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the what was I gonna say? See, the all of them came there, and we found out what happened. Let's talk about their nexus, right? Their nexus. I think the black Loki, we know his nexus is him being black, because if we're following the sacred timeline, there should be one Loki, and this is the only version of Loki.
That's true. So you think he lied about? Well, they let him. It's funny that they let him grow old enough to figure out he was. Oh, you're black,
right? Or see, because we don't know. He might have stayed. He might have picked up as a grown because we know now that TVA is a hack, right?
Yes.
So we know that there's no single timeline. There's multiple timelines.
Right.
In retrospect, So either he was picked up and he was already old, or
They just lack supervision if they missed that one.
right, or um, cause this is what I'm thinking. I don't know. It can, cause would the color of your skin or gender
Mm-hmm.
matters on the path that you're taking. So let's say I'm a woman. So let's say there's a different timeline that I'm a woman. Would that build the nexus? I guess it will, right? Because I don't know, because there's some decisions as a woman that I would make that would be different if I was a man. Or if I was a woman. You know what I mean?
Mm.
As a teenager, child, so that will build the nexus. But what if it's the color of your skin? Would that make any difference?
Probably.
So let's say I'm black, but I was born in the Philippines.
Oh, if we're talking about that, it's very highly possible because apparently even the height matters. Remember the little mini Loki that was in the jar?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit. But so it might have. So those are the three reasons why. So the first one is it's either there's another timeline and they just found out that, hey, so there's this black Loki, we need to take him because he's not part of the sacred timeline. Or second, he was doing basically all the same thing that the Loki was doing, but he's black until he got a certain different weapon or did something that built the nexus.
Well, his
and
nexus.
then send him back.
The alligator claimed it was a lie.
It was a lie. Yeah. So we didn't really know what's his nexus.
Okay.
Yeah. So the alligator nexus, that one is weird.
Yeah, he ate the wrong cat.
He ate the wrong cat. Yeah.
But we could also think it's a lie too. No, I don't think so.
No, it's not because he was mad. So his nexus, we know for sure it's because he's an alligator. Loki. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he did something. So that one's weird because it's like, so you're telling me there's a sacred timeline where there's an alligator Loki.
I guarantee they like you were just saying, lack of supervision. They were just focusing on these many easy Lokis that's on the path, and then they just, hey, that guy's black. He's not supposed to be that.
Right.
Wait, we just let a little alligator go through?
or my third reason, at least for the black Loki, is my other reason is just like what happened to Sylvie. You know what I mean? Like, he was taken up when he was a kid, and they found out, oh, he's black. He can't be the Loki, according to the sacred timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So they took him, and then it's either he escaped from the TVA or he worked for the TVA and then he grew up somewhere. You know what I mean?
You mean the black Loki?
Yeah. Because that's what happened to Sylvie.
The concerned Loki, yeah.
No. Sylvie.
Oh.
Because she was taken away when she was young. Because she can't be she can't be a Loki because she's a woman.
Yeah, but she grew. Oh, okay.
But she escaped. She grew up. Now she's an older, mature Loki.
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't know.
So the only one that's like more realistic with their nexus is the old one and the young one, right?
Yeah. Basically, that is the Loki storyline or sacred timeline. The only two difference is, let's talk about because both of them are really interesting. Their nexus are really interesting.
Right.
So the older guy, his nexus was, he made, I don't know if you remember, he made an illusion
of himself,
a perfect illusion of himself, which Thanos didn't even realize that it's fake.
Right.
Got killed. Then he escaped. He went to a planet.
I remember that.
And nobody ever saw him. He was just by himself, alone, so he couldn't make any nexus at all. Because in reality, he's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's dead. He's gone. The life moved on and things like that. The whole sacred timeline's still going on. But he got lonely, he said. He missed his brother. So as soon as he stepped out of the planet, TVA showed up.
Yeah, because he's not causing some chain reaction to him.
Yeah, because as soon as you step out of the planet and other people sees you, then you're going to build a nexus. Because they're like, wait, you're dead. How are you alive? Right?
Right. It could be that, or they just thought, he's outside of any harm's way, or he won't do anything that will affect the timeline. He's outside of the picture. He's home by himself. He's somewhere by himself, alone. Yeah. That's the only other reason.
Well, yeah, because nobody sees him.
Yeah, he's alone.
He's by himself. And then the child Loki, do you remember his nexus?
Yeah, he simply just killed Thor.
which is crazy, because I don't know if you remember in Thor Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said this was ad lib. I think they said it wasn't part of the script when Chris Hemsworth said when he was a kid, right? And he said Loki turned to a snake, and he said, and I hate snakes. He knows that I hate snakes. And then all of a sudden he jumped up. He's like, and then he scared the crap out of me or something like that. So what if it was a real snake and got bitten and then died? You know what I mean? I mean that whole thing.
Oh, who was scared of snakes? Thor?
Thor in the Thor Ragnarok.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he was it was the scene when Loki was chained and he was sitting down, and he was talking to Bruce Banner and Valkyrie, and he said, "Yeah, when we were kids, and he turned to a snake, and then he scared me like rah."
Oh,
yeah,
that could be it.
Well, that could be it. Which brings me to the animal or creature in a jar underneath the Mjolnir when they're going down the bunker, right? And you thought, what was it?
According to some fans that who reads the comics, apparently that's a mini Thor Loki.
That is a Thorg, so it's a frog version of Loki.
Oh, that's right.
Loki, Thor. It's
that's
Thorg.
right. Thorg.
And they said that Loki turned him to a frog.
And he's stuck like that forever.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
And he apparently his Mjolnir is just right there in front of him, and he can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the one he was?
Yeah, he was jumping. I don't know if that's his.
According
think
to
about it.
That's what they said. That
right. That can be right, because it's let's say he's worthy of the Mjolnir. It doesn't matter what you look like or your size.
You should still
the
be able to
Mjolnir
grab it,
still,
right?
yeah.
Unless he lost
it.
The worthiness on it.
Yeah, but he has the suit. Because remember when he
came back, he got all that.
He got all the suit.
Dang.
Yeah, so I don't know. That might not be his Mjolnir. He might just be another Mjolnir, and then he looked at it. It's like, oh, I want that Mjolnir.
True, but
you know what I mean,
it doesn't really matter.
Because
remember,
Endgame, yeah, I don't know. But we know that that's Thorg. That was the frog version of Thor.
I wonder what happened when Thor was looking for his Mjolnir at the timeline that they took it from.
Well, we know that version is before Ragnarok, for sure, because that Mjolnir still exists. In Ragnarok, the Mjolnir, exploded because of Hela.
I remember. It's just that I wonder what occurred during that time, because it was during Dark.
Wait.
Dark World.
No. So that Mjolnir gotta be the Mjolnir in that universe, because there's no Thor.
Wait, you lost me.
So that universe is, whose universe is that?
When they went back in time?
No. The Void. The Void itself, which universe is it? Do you remember? Which timeline? That was the kid Loki.
Right.
That's why they call him the king. And he asked him, why are you a king? Because I killed Thor. So nobody's going to call that Mjolnir because the Thor is dead.
Maybe that's a very, very, that's an interesting thought.
Right. I mean, think about it. It's like,
but then if he killed Thor at well, their sister was still alive then, though, right?
Yeah, but she the only reason why she's alive because of.
So she was in prison, and then he had kids again. Is that what Odin did? After he completed his missions, and then he, I know I'm mixing things, so I'm trying to figure out how Mjolnir was made. So when I look at the history in Ragnarok, Mjolnir was part of the history of during the time they were conquering lands or realms.
With Hela, right?
Oh wow!
And the only reason why Hela showed up because Odin's dead.
So the time when they went back, to pick up the Mjolnir. That's an interesting thought.
Like, think about it, because that's the reason why the Mjolnir's there, because there's no Thor, and Odin probably disregarded that Mjolnir because
so
nobody's
he must
gonna
have had
use
it in the weaponry. You know how?
Yeah, or like it disappeared or something, because he doesn't really care about the weapons. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a fact. After he passed the blade.
Right, because he has his own weapons and he doesn't use the Mjolnirs. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
that's an
So
interesting thought.
that's probably why there's some Mjolnir in there.
But they took it back. Remember when Captain America, when they finished their mission, Captain America took it back.
Yeah, but you're thinking about the sacred timeline. This is a different timeline. Thor is dead. I'm sorry. Thor is dead in this timeline.
Oh.
Because this timeline is the kid Loki. And the kid Loki killed Thor. That's why he's the king.
Okay.
And that's why he's a variant. Because he killed Thor. So that means he killed him when they were
said
younger.
the void was his kingdom.
No, that was his that's the reason why it's his kingdom, because that whole thing is his timeline.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going at.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like,
Wow,
so
nice.
he owns that timeline.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's probably why there's some Mjolnir in there. That's just my thought. That's
interesting though, but that means that his timeline is the main one with the void, because no matter what universe that you're in, all ends to one point.
Yeah. Probably. But it's like the whole thing was a mess. So I don't know, because we know that's New York, right?
Well, that's what we think, but things were just dropping in. Like, for example, the boat.
Well, it dropped there because they pruned it, and then it's gonna end up there. But the area where they at, that's New York.
If it's New York, the end of time, then why New York though? It could have been all places in the world, but New York.
I don't know. That's probably what the TVA set it up. It's just
True.
New York. This is where everything's gonna be dumped in New York.
Interesting.
And the only reason why we think it's New York, I don't know if they mentioned it in that episode, but because of the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, which was showed multiple times.
With all the buildings together there, it made it seem like it's New York.
Right. It's like the end of New York.
Yeah,
Because it's like, I think it will be miles and miles away before you see like green land in New York. Right?
Speaking of miles away, that's where they found, or that's where you see, what's his name? Pop up? Oh no, he was in the city. Mobius. Because, you know how his appearance, I mean, he just happened to be there. Jumped in the car and happened to be there. But he wasn't miles away. It was the other Lokis. Because you know how Sylvie was found?
We don't really know if that was miles away, because this is the void, so Earth is probably growing, sprung in the middle of the city, because nobody's taking care of the city.
True.
You know what I mean?
That could be
It's like the end of the world kind of thing. It's like when we played Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like they're in the middle of the city, but there's plants, there's trees, there's animals everywhere, because it's like nobody's gonna take care of these. It's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Speaking of Mobius finding Loki, right? The two Lokis. How in the world is he finding them?
I know.
So first he found Sylvie, like out of nowhere. Like this is New York, okay?
That was just
This is New York or whatever. If it's not New York, this is the middle of a big city. How in the world did you find this? How did you find Sylvie?
Right. And it's funny, it's ironic how he said it when he met all the other Lokis. He's like, man, you just throw a rock and you'll end up with another Loki.
Yeah, but the most ironic thing, right? He has been searching for Sylvie for years. And Sylvie showed up there. He found her. Like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah, I was tripping. I was like,
there she is.
How did you happen to know it was her?
Yeah, and then the second time when he found the other Lokis, like how did they find them?
Right.
They were just driving. It's like, they were driving. It's like there's a car, and I thought, the car might be just passing by, and they saw him. But no, they were driving.
They were
directly
driving towards them.
Yeah, towards them. So it's like, how did you find them? I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that scene was awkward to me. I'm like, a lot of coincidences just happening right there, just right there.
Yeah, a lot of them. It's like I have no idea. So the isn't it weird that you have an alligator Loki? Do you think?
I think he's legit. I like him.
I think he is legit. He's got to be a legit Loki.
It's either that or his skin is so thick he can't show emotions.
Okay, so let's talk about the because you mentioned earlier why can't he also the child Loki gave him his dagger / mini sword,
Right.
because Loki has a dagger.
Right.
His is like a different version of gold dagger. And then you said, how come he can't just produce it?
Yeah, why can't he just conjure it like he
So-
conjured the?
Yeah, so I think he mentioned it in the in that scene, and we're gonna talk about it in a little
Mhm.
bit. In that scene when he was sitting with Sylvie, and then he produced that blanket,
he calls
right?
it
He
conjure.
conjured the blanket.
Yeah.
I think he said that he doesn't enchant it. He doesn't magically create one. It's like the place where he put him. It's like a storage area.
Oh,
So it's a storage place, and then he just take
conjures
him
them
out.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you have to have the item and then put it there and take him in
In
and
some
out.
fantasy games, they call that the storage or the item holder. It's like it's an infinite space where you can just keep tossing things in, and
Yeah. You know what it
Yeah.
is?
what?
It's Dora's backpack.
That
Isn't that true? He got the mightiest Dora's backpack.
is Dora out there in PH too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
But that's funny. But for real,
she speaks Spanish and
Spanish.
Tagalog.
wait,
Not
for
even
real?
not even English. I don't think there's a.
Backpack.
No, she sings in English. Oh, it might have been English and Spanish. I don't know.
It does do it English, Spanish.
Yeah.
No.
But
Anyway.
some of our cartoons are and animes are dubbed in Tagalog, not English. So anyway,
But yeah,
so he gave him the dagger. He said, "You're gonna need this," but hopefully it will show how he needs it on the last episode,
yeah,
because he didn't need it on the 5th episode.
correct.
Like he was waving it, and then
And
Eliath
all it just produced was flames out of like a flame sword.
right, but Eliath wasn't interested. Like,
It's like,
okay.
ain't worth it.
Yeah, this chick is more interesting because she's doing something to me, and it feels a little weird. You know what I mean?
Until classic Loki came in
Yeah.
and conjure. But yeah, that was just whack. He runs to make a scene, and then Eliath comes out and is like,
Yeah.
nah.
Did you notice Eliath was making like different figures? So at first he was like kind of a wolf or a dog. At first when he first showed up.
I've my impression of how he appears looked like a dog.
Yeah, but when he showed himself to them, to Loki, the two Lokis, he's like a bear.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's like a bear looking grizzly bear. And then classic Loki called him a shark. Cuz I think that's just a metaphor.
Yeah, because they were trying to explain what this
Yeah.
place is, and then
Yeah,
classic.
that he's the shark.
Yeah. And we're in the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's what
This
he
is
said.
the Shark Tank, and Eliath is
Is
the
the
shark. Yeah.
Do you think they got Eliath from Goliath?
I don't think so, because they can't be anything that's smoke about
Well, it's not
Goliath.
smoking, but only the thing that might compare to him is the size.
I don't know. I feel like that would be a reach. Eliath is.
No pun intended.
I feel.
but
I feel like Eliath is more of a general Greek name.
true.
You know what I mean?
Very Greek based. Okay.
Or Greek or Hebrew. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about that was a very awkward scene. I feel like that scene was like one of those. So you've never seen Rick and Morty, which I
Right.
suggest you should watch them. It's really funny. It will blow your mind. So I watch a lot of Rick and Morty. That scenes between two Lokis, I feel like I'm watching a Rick and Morty episode. Like, holy smokes, can you fall in love with your own different version
I told
of
you.
yourself?
It just seems weird.
Yeah,
Like
not in the. So I know what you're talking about, the narcissistic way of course you're gonna fall in love with yourself. I get that, but it's like, just think it's not. It's beyond incest. The
I don't
idea
think
of
incest will fit in this picture if you're loving yourself. Would it?
no, that's why I said it's beyond incest, because it's like
fair.
the incest is you're related to you.
Yeah, but
But this
is
one
you.
is you. Yeah, it's like a different version of like yourself.
A narcissistic relationship.
Would that be narcissistic though?
I don't know, because they're unique in themselves. I mean, yeah, they're unique. It's not like loving your mirror. Because when someone say they're narcissists, they're just loving themselves. Like when they look in the mirror, they love who they look.
Yeah.
They love themselves. But when they're looking at someone else that's different from them, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
know.
I don't know what to describe.
I mean,
that.
I know it will be narcissistic for Loki to do that because he's a narcissist, in a way. You know what I mean?
It's a universal relationship.
But I don't know. That was so weird. I was watching it and I was like, man, if they kiss right now, I'm done. Like I was legitimately in my head, if they kissed, I'm done. Like, this is so stinking weird.
Holding hand is not enough.
Yeah, because did they hold hands?
Well, they hold hands together to do the enchantment.
Oh, that's a different story. I mean, I get that. But if they kiss, I was like, this is weird. And people think, okay, so a lot of things are the controversial. A lot of people, okay, so let me preface this. Let me back up a little bit.
All right.
Waka and I are Christians, okay? We're devoted Christians. We love Jesus. We have a intimate relationship with Christ. And, you know, we follow him. We love him. We do our best to do the things that he commanded us to do. However, a lot of people in our community, in our world of Christian, in our Christian world, are getting too sensitive. And I get it. But we need to back off a little bit, because they get offended when, I think it's episode 3, when Loki said that he's into man and woman, right? And they're like, oh, Disney Plus is making narrative or nod to LGBTQ. I'm like, yo, back up, hold up. You guys need to study about Norse mythology, and that's Loki. Loki is a Norse mythology, so it doesn't matter. First of all, it's Marvel. It's Marvel. If you read Marvel comics, you will see all of these.
Yeah,
all of them. Like, you go to Greek mythology, you will see all of these kind of things. So it does, like, why? You know what I mean?
Basically, do your homework before you judge.
Right, and but like I said, I get it. I mean, Loki didn't tell Sylvie and encourage us as a viewer to be just like him. He didn't say that. You know, that would be a little bit of a problem. But he just said his characteristic as Loki in Norse mythology, and he said he's into man and woman. Now, if you go to Norse mythology, this dude has 3 main children: Hel or Hela, that lives in Helheim.
Yes.
In Ragnarok, you see her. She's not the siblings of Thor and Loki. She's the daughter of Loki. Mm-hmm. There's a world serpent. And I said serpent, yes, it's a big snake that loops around the earth, or Midgard.
Yeah, at least Midgard.
Yeah, and usually they said that he was biting his own tail. That's how humongous he is. And he's the son of Loki. And then the third son is a big wolf. So if you have,
is the Fenrir.
Fenris.
Fenris. Yeah, that's right.
Fenris.
The name.
So if you have a problems with Loki being okay with men and women, this dude has
made it out with animals.
So okay, now what? So
it's funny how you're trying to defend this Loki, man.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to antagonize people who's against this, but I'm just stating my opinion and the facts about this, you know, about Loki. So now, going back to the show, if people have problems with Loki being in love, or being okay with, not in love, but being okay with men and women, imagine this Loki being okay with his own version of himself, an alternate version of himself. Like, why don't we have any problems with that? Like, because nobody identifies that. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Okay, because that to
apparently
me,
this hit the soft spot somewhere.
No, but because to me that's way weirder. That's way weirder than, oh, I'm into man and woman. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, I'm into the alternate version of me, the woman version of me, and I can only marry that person and make love with that person. Like, that's way weirder. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, that's Loki for you, 101.
That's just my thought, and it's a Disney Plus show. Anyway, so and then it brought us back to them attacking. So apparently you can get out of that void. All you need is a temp pad.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
because Mobius went back,
and he said he's gonna burn TVA to the ground.
That's gonna be a scene.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And then we went and see the encounter of Sylvie and Loki against Eliath, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier. They couldn't do it if it wasn't because of the classic Loki, and he was so dang powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Strong. It's just building a city, but his ability to build a replica of a city so near to it, that's amazing.
Right. And he only did it for distraction too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's dope.
Right. Right. Can you imagine if he can do that as a reanimation, like a solid reanimation of the whole thing?
And then he could probably, I don't know, is this still considered conjure? No. His illusion could have used the city buildings of the firing, blast if he was that powerful enough.
Yeah. So we noticed too that he has. So there's a lot of new abilities from Loki that we didn't notice at all before. So, like the telepathy or telekinesis. So Loki has the telekinesis ability, right?
We saw that in episode 2 or 3.
Episode 3, I think. Yeah, that's before the explosion.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it might have been episode 4 then. No, 3. Oh,
it was 3.
Yeah, it was 3. So we saw that, and then this classic Loki have a teleportation ability with the door.
Oh yes, that was interesting.
Yeah, because they were in the bunker, right?
Yes.
And then they escaped using classic Loki's ability.
I wonder why they couldn't do that before. Instead of going through the bunker tunnel, he could have just went through that.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that ability. I mean, those were I don't know if the alligator's ability of biting someone's hand off is an ability.
Well, it's an alligator ability.
That's for sure.
Nobody else in other Lokis can do that. And you mentioned this, that there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Lokis in there, but
you identified the ruffian.
I send you the picture of that when he opened the bunker door and he looked at the other people in there with the President Loki. That there are other versions of Loki in there.
They were very poor ruffians.
There's like an Asian Loki. I think there's another one that's a redneck Loki, but there's a lot of different kinds of Lokis.
Yeah, they were like more of the gangster kind of ones. The one that reminds me of the Hans. The
rednecks,
right? Like you just said.
Right. Right.
Barbarian kind of a feel.
Yeah. So there's a ton of them. Now, when we go back to just the Lokis themselves, the remaining Lokis, did you see the diversity in all 5 Lokis? Right. You have the female, the male, the young, old, and animal
and black.
Yeah, and black.
Yeah, I did see all the
all the diversity in there.
Oh, the main ones that we actually see in the scenes, but then you also caught the other ones. There was an Asian one, a redneck one.
Right.
Yeah, it's so there was
a lot of different kinds
of Lokis.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it's just Lokis. The only other people that it's different there is Mobius and
Froth. No,
Thorg.
Throg.
Thorg. You said Thorg.
Thorg, because it's Thor with the G for frog. So Thorg. Yeah, and then the people in the ship.
Oh, and the people in the ship, though their scene was very short. They even tried to do something.
Yeah, I wonder what that. I'm gonna look it up. I should have looked it up. I was planning to look it up.
Well, if we're gonna watch,
New Rocket.
No,
I'm talking about the. Oh yeah, you're right.
He might explain that.
Yeah, the importance of the ship.
Do we want to watch the New Rocket for the last episode?
Heck no. And then we saw as soon as they opened, they controlled or enchanted Alioth, we saw a castle looking.
Yeah. So to me, it looks like a very fancy mansion with a lighthouse, but I guess it's also maybe a castle from the distance. But to me, there's still a house shape, but then I got a very expensive English mansion. Like I'm talking about England with a lighthouse. I don't know why there's a lighthouse.
It's like one of those islands where there's a castle, like Alcatraz.
I'm just thinking the same thing.
Get out of my brain. Get out of my brain. I thought about Alcatraz or Luca. You know
I don't know
Disney,
about Luca though.
No, the Disney
Luca.
Luca. Yeah, remember in that island where they first playing? There's a castle-looking thing. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, watch it.
I know. I wasn't paying too much.
Okay.
Because we weren't we doing a puzzle or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we were doing a puzzle. But that's where they first played, the 2 boys.
Yeah.
And they're climbing and going down, and I don't know. So it's just like that. That's what it reminds me. So it's like a castle. So we know if there's a castle or a mansion, there's got to be a king.
Right.
and I kind of cheated a little unintentionally cheated a little bit. Okay, unintentional, I promise. Because I saw some of the thumbnail of the last episode from Rockstar, because I'm subscribed to them, and some of the explanations.
I thought it was New Rocket.
New Rockstar.
Oh, New Rockstar.
Yeah, New Rocket, and on Facebook too. Some of the thumbnails where there's a possibility that Kang the Conqueror is in there. So it's a confirmation that Kang the Conqueror. We're not getting trolled by Disney again, just like what happened to Mephisto.
Where do you see King the Conqueror like in any of the? Was he an Easter egg in all this?
He will show up as the.
I know because there's a lot of saying that he's going to be the main villain. I didn't feel that vibe here.
So he's behind TVA. He's controlling the 3 puppet timekeepers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he is the guy, because he's gonna show up in Doctor Strange.
Oh, so he doesn't appear on season 2?
No, he will appear in the movie, because I think this and WandaVision connects to Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Mania.
Okay.
Yeah. So it connects to all that, and then after some of the movies, it will go back to Loki season 2 and what's gonna happen to him. Probably that's what's.
It's funny how it took a female Loki to take down Goliath. Just a Loki with the ability to enchant. I mean, what other weaknesses could have been used to attack Goliath?
They probably tried, but there's no other weapons to use it, because the ability that she used is just to enchant him to control him.
Physical fire doesn't work because they tried attacking him by the boat. That failed.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Goliath, so he hasn't seen it, but Goliath's characteristic reminds me of the enemy or the main villain in the movie Jack and the Peach. If anyone's seen that movie, it's a 3D clayish movie. That's the vibe I saw when I first saw Goliath.
No, I thought he was. You remember Fantastic Four, the second Fantastic Four?
You mean
Silver Surfer?
What's his name again?
What's his name?
Colossus. Was it Colossus?
No, Colossus is a different character.
Galactus.
There you go. Colossus is a different character.
Oh no! I guarantee if you've seen Jack and the Peach, not Jack and the Peach, the Jack and the Giant Peach. I think you'll like the movie if you've seen it. But
really?
the
over Galactus, because Galactus is smoke, like a moving smoke, and whatever he touches, it disappears.
I promise you, if at least you don't have to watch the movie, but if you see the character of how it portrays, you see why it looks like Goliath more. Because Goliath looks like a dog here, but in the movie Jack and the Giant Peach, he is a cloudy black rhino. Still dark eyes, going around, causing darkness. But yeah.
Maybe the image, but the whole ability
to eat.
Yeah,
that's definitely Galactus.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Nah. Overall, this episode is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. You thought it was a drag.
I guess I thought it was too much of a drag because of the walk, but I still think episode 3 was a bigger drag.
Yeah. Well, when we did the rewatch, we noticed there's a lot of
things were going on.
Hold on. Stop cutting me off. A lot of the showing the scenes, just the scenery, just the place, and going down in the, rotating into the elevator and then going to the void and showing the whole place and then going back again. It's like, okay.
I thought those were just cool camera angles. It did throw me off about the gold door. I thought the door was like...
You can never let go of that door, huh?
Nope, can't. It fooled me. Screw you, TVA, for fooling me, making it an elevator, not an entrance only.
He made me pause the show. It's like, hold up, is that the same place that Sylvie tried to go in, but now it's a different place? Like what? And then it's like, it's an elevator, bro.
Okay,
it's an elevator.
I didn't know it's an elevator. I just thought it was a door, like a cool door. But anyway, I thought that's cool.
Do you think what's the name of that clock? Minute lady or something like that? Do you think she has something to do with all these?
I really think so. By the way, I think she's a very interesting, way beyond advanced AI. you can really interact with her, just like Cortana in Halo,
But yeah, but this one has way more because she can express emotions.
right? I mean, this was trippy. I'm like, you're talking to it and telling it to do this and that.
Yeah, because Cortana got a body.
Yeah, but this one's just an animated
Right? Because
looking.
in Halo 4, she got a body and she Master Chief was trying to save her.
Oh no, there was no body. They just, due to the graphics as time goes on, they made it more clear of her.
I thought in Halo 4 she was like trying to save her, like out of that whole AI thing.
Oh, well, that's true. They were trying to save her data out of her.
Oh, just the data. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like her body.
No, they were. I think they were planning on to create one, unless that was the rumors I remember back then. But yeah, he was trying to save her data, but then she decided to go back and
Destroy the whole thing.
yeah, and then the whole.
Didn't she die in Halo 4?
No,
Oh, I thought she died.
because she came back in Halo 5 as the enemy.
That makes sense. So this one, she can express emotions, but
Right.
as far as we know, she doesn't have any body. And then Ravonna will play a bigger part on trying to figure out what's going on in TVA, because just like what B15 said, B15, are you like something like scared of Sylvie figuring this out before you did? Because now she was shocked that the timekeepers are fake. You know what I mean?
I actually like how she broke it down to her, like her character saying she's gonna find them first, and then she
Right.
asks, "What makes you say that?" She needs it.
Mm-hmm.
You just want it.
Right. Yeah.
I like how she broke that down.
Yeah. She got a ton of sass, but yeah, that was really good. So now she's gonna go. She's gonna go and try to figure it out first,
Yeah.
and it will be interesting to see Mobius and her interaction
Right.
and what's gonna happen. Cause I think. Oh no. Okay. So when Mobius was pruned, this is before they found out that the timekeepers were fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So she was still solidified the idea. She still has the solid idea that the timekeepers are real. That's why they pruned him.
I'm getting a feel that she just wants to get rid of the who's on top, and she wants to be on top.
That's what she said. But yeah, you're right. You're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah. Or she might be mad too, because it's like now it makes sense that she's a variant. You know?
Yeah. It
Right.
makes sense that all of them are variant. I'm like, where
Yeah.
did they come from?
Yeah.
But how about you? Do you have anything about
I think
this?
TVA is gonna disappear. I think TVA at all is gonna be gone. I think so.
So the quantum realm is really gonna just disappear.
Now that one is not confirmed yet if they're in the quantum realm. So a lot of people think that the TVA is in quantum realm, but there's also a video that I saw that's Sakaar. Remember Sakaar in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, that rock person, right?
No, that's Korg. Sakaar
Korg.
is the place where Thor Ragnarok when Thor.
Oh, when they got out of the Bifrost.
Yes. That's where Hulk was staying.
Right.
Valkyrie and Loki for a long time.
Quick question: does it explain how the Hulk ended up there?
He just flew with the Quinjet. He ended up going there. I think that's what happened.
I mean, that's the only logical explanation. It just
Yeah.
coincidentally just fell there.
Yeah, because the mastermind,
He was the Grandmaster.
Grandmaster said that the only in and out of that place is the butthole.
That's true.
Yeah,
The
right, the
butthole.
butthole, and he said that the time there is different. Like outside of this place, I should be like 1,000,000 years old. So there are two places that people assume that TVA is located. It's either in the quantum realm or Sakaar. Yeah.
Do you think if it's gonna be in Sakaar, you think that other Thor that you wanted to see will appear?
Who's other Thor?
The one that looks more like a horse.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be there.
What's his name again?
Shoot, I forgot.
You mentioned it last time.
I know, not in the podcast, but with Pastor Paul.
I know, but you brought it naturally, like you knew already. But well,
Yeah. Other than that, I'm excited for the final episode.
I'm really looking forward to watch this one.
Yeah, I think a lot of our questions are gonna be answered then.
On the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of a lot of our questions are gonna be answered, and it's gonna be I know for sure it's gonna be a cliffhanger for the preparation of the movie itself. I know that a lot of people got Mephisto'd. I'm gonna use it as a verb.
Got Mephisto.
Got Mephisto'd because they thought Doctor Strange is gonna be in this series.
Yeah, they all were thinking that he was going to cameo here.
But they all got Mephisto'd. That's what you get for getting too invested in the show.
That's the whole point. That's what the director wants. They want to direct the watchers into the movie to wander with what's going on.
Yeah, but if you just
you have more of a director's view rather than the viewer's view.
Yeah, but if you do deductive criticism with the show,
can you do that after?
Huh?
Can you just do it after?
After watching the show?
Yeah. Can you deduct the show after?
Well, yeah, the deduction.
Investing the show?
Yeah, the deduction usually happen in there, but you don't, like...
I seriously can't do both anymore. I have to be one or the other with this guy. Really, I try. I mean, so when I'm invested, I was like, oh, I need to stop. I'm like, so what else is here? I this guy just screwed my whole concept of how I watch movies now.
A lot of people are like overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like you overthink things. Like, why is that like that? Or why is this like this? You know what I mean? But also,
this is just me interacting with the movie. And two, I'm just saying that this is probably the goal of the director to have people react to the show or to the movie.
There's difference between overthinking some scenes or the whole show to deducting it and connecting all the dots and lines and like, oh, okay, so this makes sense to this. So if this didn't happen, it makes sense why it won't happen because there's got to be a possibility of this happening. You know what I mean? Instead of just, that's not possible. That's not possible. That's not going to happen. How would that happen? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
If it's something new to me that just happened, then that's when I was like, what? Wait, huh? How did that come to be? I mean, I tried to connect the dots and the lines, but I'm too invested in the movie. It's like, okay, let's move on. Let's see. Okay, what's next? What's happening? Wow. But anyway.
Yeah.
Overall, I did enjoy the show. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to watching the next one.
Yeah, but I usually wait. You know what I mean? So when I watch a show and a movie, right? I usually wait. And especially if I know it's going to be a complicated movie, like Christopher Nolan's movies, right? Christopher Nolan's is like Inception and things like that, or this and WandaVision. I wait. And before I ask questions about this, I wait, and maybe the show will explain why that scene is there.
Okay.
Instead of...
You can tell that I don't say much if it's a movie, if I'm really just watching. Like, for example, we watched Black Widow the other day. I didn't ask a single question.
Yeah. So what's the diff between that and this?
I didn't say anything. I didn't ask you questions. I didn't voice out my opinion.
I mean, in my deductive criticism, I think it's because we're in theater. It's not just two of us.
Nah. I mean, if I'm out there watching with you, just watching, okay, I guess it's different. Maybe it is.
And to me, it's like it depends on the movie. Like some of the movie, like Black Widow and Captain America, Winter Soldier are like a spy movie to me. So it's just a straightforward movie. You know what I mean? For the most part. But other than that, it's like, okay, now I gotta think. If I have to think, and I know I'm gonna be thinking about the show, then I usually just pay more attention. If I know it's just another Disney animated movie, it's like, it doesn't really matter that much.
I just watched the show without doing all the criticism, I would have enjoyed it. You won't. I kid you not, I didn't talk as much as we are now when we watch.
Well, another reason for that is because we know we're going to do a podcast about it.
Yeah, that too.
We don't want to lose the conversation.
Right. Okay, now I know more of it. I should just, try to shut up on it.
It's okay. No, seriously. So I think that's the way you understand movies. So I don't want you to stop doing that. Because that's how you get in. Because whenever you ask me questions, you're not necessarily asking me questions. You just want to voice it out.
Yeah, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm not really asking.
Yeah, I know. So that's why
more of an expression.
That's why I don't answer you.
Okay.
Right? And you don't get
I'm not tripping about it.
Yeah, you know, you're not upset if I'm not responding
But
to
there's
you.
just people who don't like people talking in the middle of a movie, so I just try to really control it and shut up and watch, and just make it loud in my head.
Oh, I avoid you. I avoid answering your question because if I do, we're gonna start having the conversations
Right.
like,
Yeah.
wait,
that's
we're
true.
watching this movie. You know what I mean? So I don't pay attention.
Okay.
And I know you're not gonna find it rude or
No.
upsetting if I don't respond.
No.
Because that's what you do. You remind me of my parents. Hey AJ, except my parents want me to
No,
respond
my
to them.
parents are worse.
You know what I mean? Like,
I have to answer.
Why is that? It's like, dude, we're watching the same show. I don't know. I have no idea. We're watching the same show. I didn't see this before you did.
Same.
We're like watching it right
I'm
now.
just the same. I'm just the same with my mom.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All right. Okay. Well, we hope you enjoy
Yes.
this episode and the Loki episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, make sure to let us know. And let me go back. If you've seen it, make sure to let us know if you enjoyed this episode and the Loki episode. Comment down below if you have any friends that love Loki or anything that it's original, just like what we're doing right now. Tell them about our podcast. It'll be much appreciated. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me in majority of the social media world. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, IG, even LinkedIn. And the name is either Waka127 or FFX Waka127. And that's with a double K. WAKKA. FFX WAKKA 127 or without the FFX. Yeah, you can find me there. Don't expect anything too much because I don't really interact on it. I'll try to, but I really suck at it. But if you need to talk to me, you can reach out to me. Just tell me that's who you are, where you're from. Otherwise, I'll ignore you if I don't know you.
And you guys can find me on the Gum Fam Show on all social media platform. That's the Gum Fam Show. And you guys can also find this podcast, the Maximum Filipino Show, on any social media platform. Follow us there and check us out. Tell your friends about this. You guys can email us the Maximum Filipino Show, the Maximum Filipino Show at gmail.com. If you want to be part of the podcast and have some suggestions about some of the future podcast episodes, just email us, the Maximum Filipino Show. We have a lot of exciting news and guests for our next podcast. And if you're still listening to this podcast and you made it here and you still haven't subscribed and following this podcast, what are you doing? Like, seriously, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below if you get here and type TT Bell. TT Bell if you made it this far. Just type TT Bell and we know you've listened to the whole podcast.
Thank you for being here, TT Bell.
Yeah, you guys can follow TT Bell somewhere. Don't come in my house. That's it. And that's for all the TMFS fam, Tawaka, me, and Courtney. She's out there yelling at us because we're too loud. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Late.
Bye.
Karen.